What's up, guys? Welcome to another Team Solemn Circus live video. Today we're over Melodious. This is most likely going to be the deck list I'm choosing to play all the way until Nationals, until the new set drops. Before we dive into like, comment, subscribe, the deck has gotten a little bit of new support in the recent set, but now we're playing a lot of some of the older support here, including the Bloom. So with yugioh getting its new support in the last set of the battles, it has become a quite nice meta threat. Therefore, we have to combat it as well. And this has a nice matchup against Tempai and yugioh. When you look at the other decks, you see Melodious, and then you see Snake Eyes, and most of them going to be the most represented decks of the format. So I wanted to be featuring you guys once again. And if this video gets to 100 likes, I'll do another combo video for it, with some updated combo lines as well. Well, to dive on in, we're starting off with a 3 refrain. Everyone knows what these cards do. They're the ones that everybody are now playing in most of the ostinato combos. 3 couplet. Not much to explain. We are still playing the triple copies of Sonata. I've been always a huge fan of triple copies of her. Sometimes you can boost up the attacks quite a bit. Unfortunately, this with the yugioh matchup is not the best. So sometimes want to cut that down to like 1 in the yugioh matchup or not leave it on the field at all. We're on the double songstress as well as the 1 canon, the 1 aria, and then of course the 1 copy of Shapina. So the canon there is for, of course, the copy of the Baguska, which we are playing. You have to play this in the branded matchups as well. It can be quite nice. And then Aria is one of the end boards you want to leave on, which it can be quite powerful against the Tempai matchup. They have to pretty much force everything to attack with the level 10 and then beat over stuff, which is kind of crazy. Now for our hand traps or our non-engine, we are playing the 3 copies of Heralds. Of course, we're playing Herald. We are playing the Fairies. Then we're playing Triple Ash, Triple Veiler, Triple Imperm, Triple Crossouts, Double Talents, and the 1 Call by the Grave. So the reason why we're playing these ratios, well, first off, Crossout Designator is the most insane card in this deck. Being able to pair these up with some other stuff is just absolutely insane. If you guys have seen any of these Snake Eyes decks, you see Crossout being played in most of those as well. This card honestly needs to get hit. It's like really, really degenerate. You can go full combo, and if your opponent doesn't hand trap you, they're too busy playing board breakers. You set it, and you play very badly, and they talents you, and you just cross out the talents. Just feels absolutely insane. And then of course, if you're making your board and they hit with you like a low impact hand trap or a very impactful hand trap at the right moment, you can just cross out it. We're not playing ogres in this deck, so obviously you're getting ogred on the couplet can hurt you, but that can be quite nice. Talents is in there for the same reason of not just for the crossout. That's why I'm playing 2 of it. I want to be able to see it as well because sometimes ripping your opponent's hand can be quite nice. And for example, if you have crossout and talents and your opponent hits you with a hand trap, let's say they Veiler you, you can actually cross out the Veiler, then talents their hand, rip their other hand trap, and such as 2 cards gone, and you're able to full combo, which is quite nice, and know their opponent's board. And then Call with the Grave, just because it's Call with the Grave. This is probably the most cuttable out of all of these. When info drops, we probably are going to be playing copy of Droll as well, because that card is absolutely insane. But we are playing triple Ostinato and the triple first movement solo. Not much to say about these. These cards are your god cards of the deck. I have a feeling Ostinato is probably going to get hit, Brand Infusion being kind of crazy. And for the last 3 cards, we're playing Prosperity and the 1 copy of Concerto. Prosperity lets you have access to what cards you want to be seeing when you start the turn. While when you play Desires, you have to kind of play 2 Concerto, and then of course you don't get to control what you draw, and that +1 may not always help. So having Prosperity and letting you choose exactly what you want to be seeing, definitely can be beneficial. Now moving on to the extra deck, we are on the triple copies of Maestra, double copies of Bloom, and double copies of the Shiberta, and then the 1 copy of Bloom Diva. So the reason why we're playing these ratios, obviously, we are playing Prosperity. A lot of times I want to be banishing. I want to make it more simple. Now there are other cards I can mention. Wherever it's at, the copies of Beyond the Pendulum is no longer really good. I don't own a copy of the level or the Link to Fairy thing. If I lent that out to Brian for his purely deck, so shout out Brian, I guess. But yeah, I don't really find that card really good. Obviously, it can destroy stuff like Skill Drain, which is quite nice, but most of the time your opponent's not really siding Skill Drain in versus you, because you have a lot of outs to it, and your opponent's normally going to be no, okay, well, they're going to be playing back row hate if I'm playing like stuff like everyone's siding into like stuff like that now. So when you're going second, you most likely have to play back row hate, which is important. But yeah, this card itself is the reason why your Tempai and your yugioh matchup is quite nice. You know, summoning this out makes it so that you don't take any battle damage involving those yugioh monsters, so they can't really crash into you, and they'll be taking damage because of this guy's effect, which is quite nice. So you have to be careful about that. Bloom obviously is, or Flowering is obviously crazy, being able to bounce those cards. And of course, Shaberta is the triple DD Crow. And then when you pair it with this, you can get like 6 DD Crows, and if you pair it with those, you can get like up to 12, which is quite nice. You also play triple of this because a lot of the times you want to end or use 2 during your first combo. You know, if you're going for the Baguska line, which is quite nice. But then we are playing the double of this. This is because Cash is kind of popular now. You know, it's getting more popularity, and we don't kind of want to lose some of our cards. So being able to just have like double bloom, it makes it so they can't really take away your cards. In versus Snake Eyes, Kashtira, they'll rip their bloom out immediately. So having like them to hit or forcing them to hit something else can be quite nice. They're playing the Gravity Controller, the Lizardos, the SP, and then the Baguska and the Typhon. Not really much to say about these cards. You know, Baguska is probably the most important other than the Gravity Controller for that Baka. If it gets hit with something like that, being able to link it away immediately and get the effect. And the SP Knight can come up. You don't need to play the IP. IP is very bad in this deck. I will say that forever. But yeah, there's not really much I would change. I know that the people are playing that Link to stop skill drain. I just don't really find that it ever came up, therefore I just cut it. I also don't even have one with me. But now for the side deck, we're playing triple copies of Cosmic, triple copies of D-Barrier for going first. This is for going second, being able to clear the stuff, stopping the Runic decks, stopping a bunch of other stuff. You know, Ice Barrier Runic is becoming a little bit more popular, Lightsworn Runic as well. So playing these cards, stopping the Fountain. We also have like Trap Tricks Runic at our locals, so just being able to hit those cards are quite nice. And then of course versus Snake Eye, a lot of times they're going to be siding into like 1 copy of a Floodgate, therefore if you Cosmic it, it can be quite nice. Then for the hand traps, we're playing the triple DD Crow, triple copies of Droll and Lockbird. So this is just for you, Bell. This is for like every matchup that you want to be playing with. I want to main it, but I chose to put in the Crossouts instead, and I haven't regretted it yet. This could beat Nibiru as well. This DD Crow is really nice against a voiceless matchup. So like being able to like to snipe the cards away, especially even versus Branded, being able to hit like the Given Puppet helps the deck out a lot. So I really do like the DD Crow. I think this card is really underrated. And then for the last 3 cards, we're playing the double copies of Dark Ruler and Amor, and then the Tam Tam, because this is my favorite card. You know, I love her Strawberry Drum, but no, really just for time. You know, this card is very important. A lot of times your people are going to be playing against you. They're going to slow play you a little bit, and then you just go Tam Tam. Being able to send it can be quite nice. We're not playing the Polymerization, and we're not playing the LG anymore, because this card, I just don't find it being that important. It is good against the Tempai matchup if you want to play badly, but just summon your monsters in defense, you're going to be fine. The only other card I really think I should mention is probably the Power Sync Stone. So I'm not playing this, I'm playing D-Barrier instead. Now the reason why I'm playing this is because the same reason why I'm not playing the copy of the Link 2. A lot of people going second are going to be siding in Spell and Trap Card hate, including Lightning Storm, Duster, Cosmics, whatever else you want to be including, Evenlies. And with this, it's like, okay, looking at where I want to side it in, I don't really know what I would take out. D-Barrier can always be chained. So this has to stay on the field, therefore it's going to be worse if I get hit with Evenly. But if I just chain D-Barrier to the Evenly, I'm not going to lose the card on the field. Well, no, this card like will blanket negate everything. It won't always be on the field, therefore it can't really be interacted. Like it just loses to 1 Cosmic, where D-Barrier I can always respond to the cards, which are quite nice. But that's really it for the deck profile. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below. I'll make sure to answer them. This is the deck that I've been playing quite a bit. You know, this and Branded and Unchained. Probably my most played decks of this year. Hopefully you enjoyed watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, some more content like this. Stay safe. Peace.